Jenny Walentine, and I am 50 years young, as I'd like to say.
I'm Haley Hastings. I'm the oldest of Jenny's 3 girls.
I was originally from Paris, Idaho. I spent 5 years there, and then the rest of my growing up years in Logan.
My name's Timmy. I'm the youngest of the kids in the family. I don't know what to say. Dang it, hold on. We're gonna try it again.
I'm Brooklyn. I work full-time with my parents flipping houses, or renovating, if that's a better word.
We also here behind us.
So we want to do something.
Some of the elements of the landscape.
All of this with Hero.
We have a company that renovates old homes in the area I grew up in, which is Sugar House. That's the east side of Salt Lake. And we work as a family doing this. Started in 2014. I tried to explain to Dave about the area of Salt Lake, that these little old homes, there's a huge demand for them, even though they're not the neat homes of today with big walk-in closets or master suites and those things. People still want to live there because the schools are good, there's low crime.
We got married 5.5 years ago, and we met almost 6 years ago that we met.
Flipping homes is always known as just putting paint and carpet, and we don't do that always. We go down to the studs many times and really change the house. And so Brooklyn said, well, what about my Flippin Fam? And I said, what, our Flippin Fam?
We had just started discussing kind of what we would call ourselves, and I was like, I don't know, like my Flippin Fam.
A long time ago, I bought a house right after college, and it was in an area that I grew up near and dear to my heart, but the house needed a lot of love. But it was kind of the first project to get our feet wet as a family. And then when I was still living here in Salt Lake, I would help them pick out paint colors and tile and carpet.
And we knew right then that it would be kind of a spoof to use the word flippin', and that's what we do. So our Flippin Fam came about, and it's just stuck.
I'm definitely the least involved in the family business. I have a pretty busy schedule with college and working in the summers and training for skeleton or violin or whatever I'm doing. It's really drawn an interest from kind of everybody who's involved, so I think it's really, in a way, brought everybody kind of closer together.
The modern industrial house, we actually took every single wall out of the interior of the house and started over. So that house has got a completely new floor plan. It's got a master bedroom suite that none of those little bungalow houses have.
Today at the modern industrial house, we are putting tile up on the fireplaces. It's this really awesome industrial tile that looks like concrete. It's 16 by 32, so it's nice and big, and the way we are doing it is really going to be a focal point for the fireplaces.
One of the challenges we had with this home was to take the exterior and make it modern, but not change the actual build of the home, and to keep it the same. So that's what we did, except for the new porch. It has steel I-beams that hold the porch up, because the old porch was actually falling down and was definitely a danger.
The family that owned the home bought it sometime in the mid-40s. The home was originally built in 1937. They raised 6 kids here. Did the addition upstairs sometime in the late 60s, maybe early 70s.
So Brooklyn, where are we at on this house?
Oh boy, I don't know. Today we are finishing up the baseboards, so we're spackling and caulking them to prep them for paint, and we are installing all of the doorknobs.
Before the addition was done, about 2,200 square feet, and then with the addition it's just under 2,900 square feet.
The plan is to put some planter boxes up here in the front. They're going to be some cool metal, so we'll carry the industrial look to the outside of the house. And then above it we'll just have some grass, so it still feels like a normal yard.
Staging a home is important for people because it visualizes how they could actually live in the home. Where would you put a bed in this room? How would you situate the furniture? How would you make sure that you focus on the focal point in the living room?
All through the process, we're discussing what we're going to do, how we're going to lay the home out, what kind of finishes we're going to do, and as those ideas come to reality, it gets pretty exciting to see that final product.
I now can see how this house is going to come together. With the kitchen here, you'll see the table, the nice modern fireplace. It's going to be a really nice accent when somebody comes in. I love this house because you can see from the front to the back. It's awesome.
Let's see a really nice accent. The snow right now is covering the concrete, but all of this is concrete right here. And then right here is going to be a 32 by 20 metal industrial garage with a double door and a single door, so it'll be a 3-car garage.
One of the things I love about this house is the view out the back. A lot of times homes have great views out the front. You can look out and see the snow-capped mountains, the Wasatch Mountains, the east bench of the area of Salt Lake, and it's beautiful. What a great view, besides the park that's there. It's just awesome. Unobstructed view is not that you find that very often in the city, so this is another selling point for this house.
She's gotten off.
Get her hair wet. Yeah. Oh, you're lucky. I actually have been married twice before this. I got married again and thought everything was good and had another daughter. And unfortunately, that marriage didn't work out either.
I was way into sports, and I did dance as well, but I was always more of the tomboy, and Haley's very girly, and Timmy's very smart and artsy. So we're all very different, but somehow it works.
Found myself as a single mom with 3 daughters and was single for almost 12 years. Just raising the girls, being as busy as you can be with 3 girls who are active in sports and dance and music lessons. And then as a challenge, some friends, I got on Match.com and I met Dave.
I was kind of at that stage, I was really being cautious about who I was, as I wasn't really approaching anybody online. I was just there to see kind of who was out there. And so, but I'd noticed Jenny's profile. I was just taken back by her good looks, and I could tell that she was really smart, and I was excited that she was athletic too.
This was so different for me because I knew immediately there was a connection and that this could be it. And I did something I hadn't done ever before, and I sent him an email, and he responded back. And we met after a while because I was kind of nervous, to be honest with you, but it really was love at first sight, and we've now been married almost 6 years, and it's been amazing. It's been everything you hear of love stories.
So we got married in August of 2017, and we just had our little girl, Parker, and she's the greatest thing that could have ever happened to us. She's the first grandchild on my side and the 10th on his side.
I just got married in May of this year. I met my husband, Matt, playing softball. He came and subbed for one of my teams, and I was just in a really bad mood that day, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Matt." I would say probably 90% of the time. Jenny, mom, whatever you want to call her, she comes up with the overall look for the house. And she says, this house is going to be a modern industrial
these are the colors scheme I want for the house, and so I just say okay, and I go home and I get on my laptop and I study the newest fashion or fad or whatever with that style, and I just kind of see what's up to date, and then I go and I pick out all of the colors and tile and carpet and kind of focus on all the design stuff that you see at the end.
We decided to start renovating these homes and actually open them up and make them an open concept, which is really popular today, and do our best to make bigger closets and open kitchens for mom and dad to be able to be part of the family while they're cooking. And it's worked out really well. People are really excited about the homes.
Originally, when we were planning out the garage, we were going to do a big 3-car garage, but then when we went down to the city to get the permit for the garage, they wouldn't let us do a 3-car garage because you can only have a certain size of garage based off of the size of your home. So they only allowed us to do a 2-car garage. So what we decided to do was make it a very big, oversized 2-car garage. So you still have a lot of room for storage, and you could fit a big truck back here as well.
Elements that are key to modern industrial stuff or looks that are steel, wood, grays, whites, and blacks, and just made it really open. You can now see from the front to the back when you walk in.
It can be anything big or small, but there's always something that comes up and it makes you say, flip.
This has been a little bit more probably higher end of the budget than we'd hoped for, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can design something, but then when you actually walk through it, you start to get the feel, things start to change, and you realize, oh my gosh, how did we miss this? This would be awesome here. So that's what we do. And Dave kind of just smiles and goes along.
Sometimes we can really agree on things, and other times we kind of have to fight it out. But it's fun. Dave's usually pretty good not to argue with us. He's actually really good not to argue with us. He's a smart man.
If you're wanting hip and you're wanting the cool trees of Salt Lake City, the needled architecture of the house, this is the place. Right?
This is the place.
This is the place.
This is the place.
Thank you, Brigham.
Where did you come up with that?
Brother Brigham.
Welcome to our cabin. This is our kind of home away from home, but really we split our time between our house in Heber City and here in the mountains. We're in a community just east of Oakley, Utah. It's called Pine Mountains, and we've named our cabin Nawakwa, which is a Native American word for in the middle of the forest.
You know, I was so excited that Jenny liked cabins. It was one thing that really brought us together, is the love of the outdoors, the love of outdoor activities, snowmobiling, motorcycling, skiing, hiking.
If you like the outdoors, this is about as good as it gets. And our elevation's here about 7,500 feet. We can ride snowmobiles up to 10,000 feet and see from valley to valley, mountaintop to mountaintop. If heaven exists on earth, this to me is heaven. We spend as many holidays as we can. We have the kids up here.
Being the youngest, most of the time I definitely get kind of spoiled out of the kids.
As you can see, it's the nice big 16 by 32, so it's going to really grab your attention when you walk in the room here. And where it's the cool modern concrete tile, it's really going to complement the modern fireplace that we put in.
This is a car jack, and in case you don't need the light, you can take it off and put it under your car. Well, both sides of my family were pioneer members of the church, joined the church in typically the late 1800s, 1870s.
Like the rest of my family, I did grow up as a member of the LDS Church. I no longer practice, but I think growing up, LDS only really benefited me.
Both of my mom's parents were children of polygamous families, and on the Wallentyne side, my great-great-grandfather was a polygamist.
I think it helped me a lot when my dad passed away. It helped me just cope with things a little bit more, and as My husband and I are both active. We were married in the Salt Lake Temple, and so it's just a big part of our lives.
The landscaping in the front yard is all done. I think it looks really good. I think the green really complements the cedar, and then it looks just really clean and nice against the white and the black. It gives it some color, but keeps it nice and clean and classic with the modern look. And we have the modern planter boxes that has just the ornamental grass, so nothing crazy, but gives it a little spicy, something extra in the front yard. No, it was along the wall, but they took it off when we were putting it.
And it'll look better when the baseboards are painted. They need to be sanded, painted, caulked.
Yeah, that's a nice look.
I think with every project, there's always going to be some altering. There's always something that comes up. You just kind of have to learn how to roll with the punches, per se.
I think the phrase love grows best in little houses really applies. People were close. You didn't have as many clothes, furniture wasn't as big, but families made it. They stuck together, and I think it's something that we can take from the past and try to apply that to today's standards and see what we can do to make families grow bigger. That's why we love Our Flippin Fam. We get to work together and stay close.
So what's been the flippin' part of this whole? There have been some flippin' moments?
There has been many flippin' parts. I think every day, I would say, if there's something that comes up. We didn't wire for a TV above the fireplace, and we thought about it after we put the floor down, and then someone comes in and with muddy shoes before we've covered it up. Flip.
We are at our modern industrial home. It's in the 15th and 15th neighborhood of Salt Lake City. This is one of my favorite homes that we've ever done. It's just unique, and it has a lot of character to it.
Well, we love the house, and I love the way it's turned out, and it's fun to get to this stage of a house and have everything finished, be able to admire the work that we've done, and sort of look back on it and forget all the pain. But there was a lot of pain with this house.
I really love this house. I've had a lot of fun working on it. I've only been working with Our Flippin Fam for a little over a year now, so I came in about halfway through since this did take such a long time.
If I didn't have any limits on the budget, I could just pick anything and I'd make this place a show place. So my challenge is to make it look like a show place that we didn't spend show place money on.
So we do a house to be something that we would want to live in. And I can say, as she did, this is a house I'd like to live in.
One of my favorite features is the open shelves that we have here right behind me. I just think it's a really fun way to display things, but still gives you some space to store things. We also put in some black stainless steel appliances. So you have the fridge, the microwave, the oven range, and then the dishwasher here behind me. I still think that there is plenty of space to prepare all of your dinners and stuff. We also have this nice rolling cart here behind me that we've added, so you have more storage and counter space for prep. We also here behind us have a nice built-in pantry. So I think that there is plenty of space and storage. So it's a very functional kitchen, and it's fun with the open shelves and the glass in the cabinets because it has a nice modern flair, obviously, to go along with the modern design.
When we were doing this house, we wanted to do something special with the garage. These old neighborhoods often have really small old garages, or they don't have any garages at all. So we wanted to do something that fit with the design of the house. So we came up with this design. It's got 2 overhead doors. The garage is fairly big for this size of a house and size of the neighborhood. And as you can see, it's all sheetrock inside. It's got the man door on the side there. But the really cool thing about the garage is the exterior. It matches the house. It fits in with the theme of the house. And as you can see, the garage creates a space over here with a patio between the garage and the house that is shaded in the afternoon. It's a great place to come out and eat dinner and just enjoy the ambiance.
I take a lot of pride in the fact that we can work as a family Do we have fights as a family? Of course we have fights as a family. This is reality. No family goes along and ever just has everything smooth. We get into arguments, trust me. Dave and I go at it. I get a budget and I'm trying to push the budget, and he's really good. I need him because he says, Jenny, you can't do this. We've got to lower the budget.
Since you know every intimate detail of each other's lives, since you're around each other all the time, you get the advice whether you want it or not, and you kind of, like, I'll get a call from my mom and I'll be like, oh boy. But at the end of the day, you're family and you're there for each other, and that's just how it goes.
The outdoors is a big part of our life. So we work here, but we leave it all behind and go off into the mountains or the desert or the beach or wherever we're going. And we love the time together. It's pretty important to us.
I want us to be able to do what we do as a family and stay together, and if it takes off and gets big, then great. But if not, we get to do what we love.
It's just great being part of the family. I feel like I'm adopted in, and I love it.
I think it's pretty special to be able to know that you can call up your family at any time, and even if you made a stupid mistake, that they'll probably say, well, that was dumb, but I still love you.
I think our Flippin Fam's pretty amazing, and I'm really proud of them. Proud of the people in our family. We work really hard to help each other. I think that's the best thing about our family, is that our love and concern for each other is number one.